The Galactic Empire had conquered many planets over the centuries. They were ruthless, efficient, and powerful, and no species had ever been able to stand against them. Their technology was unmatched, and their armies were vast. But there was one thing the Empire had never anticipated, one thing they never accounted for: the humans of Earth. The story began on a small, forgotten world on the edge of the galaxy, where a child named Ethan was living. He was no ordinary child. He had bright, curious eyes, an unquenchable thirst for knowledge, and a courage that could not be taught. Unfortunately, this made him an ideal target for the Empire. Their scouts had found Earth many years ago, and the Empire had kept an eye on the planet, waiting for the perfect opportunity to capture and subdue its inhabitants. One fateful day, the Galactic Empire launched their invasion of Earth. They arrived in massive ships, darkening the skies with their sheer size. The people of Earth, unprepared and unarmed against such an advanced force, stood no chance. The Empire seized control quickly, enslaving the humans they captured, turning them into laborers for their never-ending hunger for resources. Ethan, though young, had shown promise. The Empire recognized his potential early on. His intelligence and natural instincts made him a valuable asset. They captured him, planning to use his knowledge and skills to serve the Empire's greater ambitions. Ethan was taken aboard a large starship, a cold and lifeless vessel, and locked away in a sterile cell where he could do nothing but wonder about the world he had once known. But something inside Ethan refused to accept the fate that had been forced upon him. He remembered the stories his parents had told him, the tales of Earth's resilience, of the human spirit that never gave up, no matter how impossible the odds seemed. Ethan believed in that spirit. He was determined to escape and somehow to warn his people. For weeks, Ethan quietly studied the technology around him. He had always been good with machines, and the ship's systems fascinated him. The Empire had underestimated the mind of a human child, assuming he would be too young to understand their technology. But Ethan's mind was sharp. He found flaws in their security systems, small weaknesses that he could exploit. Slowly, he began to plot his escape. One night, as the starship cruised through the void of space, Ethan made his move. Using the knowledge he had gathered, he triggered an alert in the ship's systems, causing a distraction. The ship's crew scrambled to fix the issue, leaving their guard down for a brief moment. Ethan seized the opportunity and escaped his cell. He navigated the corridors, avoiding the Empire's soldiers and finding his way to the ship's communications room. He had no idea how long he had before they noticed he was gone, so he worked quickly. Ethan hacked into the ship's transmission system, sending a message to Earth, a warning. He didn't know if anyone would receive it, but he had to try. The message was short, but it carried a powerful warning: run. The Empire has come. They will enslave you. Fight back. Earth is not defeated yet. You have a chance. The message sent, Ethan knew he didn't have long before the Empire would discover what he had done. He could hear the alarms blaring in the distance. He had to leave, but he couldn't escape the ship alone. He had to do something more. Ethan's mind raced. He couldn't fight the Empire's soldiers directly. He was just one child, and they were too powerful. But there was something else he could do. He had learned that the Empire's power came not just from their technology, but from their sheer numbers and control over countless worlds. If the humans of Earth could find a way to fight back, even the mighty Empire would be forced to reconsider their plans. With determination in his heart, Ethan did the unthinkable. He broadcasted another message. This one was different. It wasn't just a warning, it was a call to action. Humans of Earth, he began, his voice clear and unwavering. The Empire believes they can conquer you, enslave you, and break your spirit. They have no idea what you are capable of. You are not alone. We are many. We are strong, and we will rise. Run, hide, fight, do whatever it takes, but do not give up. The Empire will learn that humans are not meant to be slaves. As the message echoed through the ship's systems, Ethan felt a strange sense of peace. He knew he might never see Earth again, but he had done what he could. He had set the warning. He had reminded Earth of its strength. The alarms grew louder, and Ethan knew his time was running out. The Empire would be on him soon. With a final glance at the communication terminal, He turned and fled deeper into the ship. He didn't know where he was going, but he knew one thing. He would fight with every ounce of strength he had, just like the humans who had come before him. No matter how powerful the Empire seemed, no matter how hopeless it felt, the human spirit was unbreakable. Meanwhile, back on Earth, something incredible began to happen. The message that Ethan had sent had been received, and it sparked something in the hearts of the humans who heard it. People began to organize to fight back in ways the Empire could not predict. The streets of Earth, once quiet and subdued, began to echo with the sounds of resistance. The Galactic Empire had made a grave mistake. They had thought that by enslaving one human child, they could break Earth's will, but in doing so, they had awakened something far greater than they could ever have imagined. The power of unity, the fire of defiance, and the strength of a species that refused to be conquered. The message Ethan had sent became a rallying cry, and soon humanity was no longer alone in its fight. The Empire would soon learn that they had underestimated Earth, and that the human race would never be enslaved. Ethan had done his part, but now it was up to Earth to finish what he had started.